Hi and welcome to the 21-day business and digital marketing training with me, Andy Phillips. This is obviously Campaign Ignition sequence and this is day 15. Now today we're going to look at site tracking code. This is a piece of code that you can put onto your website, onto the page of your website, which will actually enable you to trigger automations when people go to that page. Really clever piece of technology this, and this is basically how it works. You could send people an email. Now these have to be people that are already on your contact list. So you send an email to a contact on your list or a bunch of contacts on your list or your whole list. And this could be really asking them if they're interested in information on specific subjects. So they're already on your list. This is not list building. This is people that are already on your list. But you've got a little link in there that sends them through to a page. Okay, so when people click on that link, they will go through to some information. Now this information could be, or this email could be something like, do you want to learn about podcasts? Now they would click on the link, go through to a page, some information you put together on podcasts. So it's a piece of content, a really good piece of content that people go to. And when they go to this page, because of the site tracking piece of code that you put onto that page, it will trigger an automation. That is the trigger point. When people go to the page, it will trigger an automation. So as soon as they've done it, they'll get another few emails. You could actually put the first email out to them in this sequence. This is a typical bridge to offer sequence, as you can see, but you could put the first email out maybe a day later. Then another day later, put another piece of content out. Then another day later, put another piece of content out. And then another day later, you'd have an offer going out to them. So you've obviously got a product that you want to sort of highlight. But you can start by sending it out to the whole of your database. And when people go to that specific page, that's when the actual automation trigger will start. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And the very first thing you need to do is to put the piece of code onto your website. To do that, you just go over to My Settings up here. Just click on that and you'll see tracking. Now you have to do a couple of things here. You have to put this piece of code onto either the page that you want to use to track or put it in the footer of the whole of your site. Now you can do that with things like WordPress and those sort of pages or those sort of sites. If you don't do your own site, then just give this tracking code to your webmaster and they'll be able to do it for you. The thing you have to do first is to make sure that the domain goes into the whitelist. So what we actually do here is we'll take the URL. So I'm just taking this one. This is just a WordPress site just to show you how it works. I'm going to copy that, go back to Active Campaign, and I'm going to click into here and paste. Now there's a few things we must do to make this work. We need to take this trailing edge off. So you see this has got a little / which we need to take off, and we need to go to the beginning and we need to take off the HTTP : / off the front. Now your site might have www. at the front, which is absolutely fine. You can keep that on. If it doesn't have www. on the front, then leave it off. But you can't have the HTTP and the : and the / or the / at the end of the URL. So you just got to keep it very simple. So then once you've done that, you just click on add. And as it says here, add any domain that you will be putting the tracking code on. Tracking will not work unless you add the domain to this whitelist. So it must be added in here in the way I've just shown you. Then we just go down to here and we copy that code. Now we could put it onto every page on this site, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it into a footer. So we click over onto dashboard in WordPress. As I say, all different sites have different ways of doing this. Is just how it works with WordPress, because the majority of people use WordPress nowadays for both blogs and websites, of course. So what I've done here is I've actually gone into get a plugin that will enable me to put header and footer code in all of them. So I'm just going to show you what that actually does. If I click on settings, and you can just literally paste it into there and save the changes. It really is that simple. If you're wondering which plugin we're using here, if I just go to new and put footer code in here, enter, and you'll see quite a few different ones that have come up, different ones that you can use. I use this one only because there's a lot of active installs, and it was last updated a month ago. Now it says untested with your version of WordPress. I've just literally upgraded the version of WordPress on this, so it probably hasn't caught up yet, but it was updated a month ago, which I like, and there's quite a few active installs on this, so this is the one I used. So if we just go back to pages, I've got no pages on this at all because it's a brand new install of WordPress. I'm just going to put test, just make it nice and simple. Just save that. So this is the URL of the page that I want to start that automation off with. So if people go to this page, then that automation will start. So if I go back to ActiveCampaign, so before I do anything else, I just need to go to the bottom of this page and save settings. Then I'm going to go to automations, and let's click on a brand new automation. And here's all the ways we can start our automations, and I'm going to click on this one. Start automation when a web page is visited by a contact. And it's going to have all of our whitelisted websites down here. It's going to have a list of all the ones we've actually included. So that's the one I wanted, and I want it to go to test. You can use a wildcard if you want, but if you want it to a specific page, then go to test. Then we can do this at multiple times just in case we want people to do it. We can also segment the contacts entering this automation. Again, we can go to tag and we can choose a tag. Don't forget, it's better to do the tag to start with before you go into this. But you can pick a tag that you've already created, or you can go and create a new one first. This is all about tag management, and as I've said in one of the very first videos that we did, get your tags, manage your tags, put them into a spreadsheet and make sure you understand exactly what those tags all are. So you always create a tag first, but I'm just going to collect this one just as an example in here, and then we just add start. So what this basically means is when someone goes to that page, the test page that I've just done, it will start this automation. So we can just start dragging in things like emails and start building our simple automation. Okay, so now we've got our very first email sitting in there, all ready to go with an automation, so it is going to be triggered when people go to that page. Very simple, but very powerful.